With its world-famous abbey and picturesque cottages, this village has been used numerous times as a filming location, most notably for the Harry Potter films. So it is no wonder why so many people are left enchanted by the magic that this village has to offer. This is LACOCK. LACOCK is a small village that is situated in the county of Wiltshire, England, roughly about 3 miles south of the town of Chippenham and about half an hour's drive from Bath. LACOCK is a perfect day out for anyone wanting to lose themselves in a time capsule of beauty and history. The village is owned almost in its entirety by the National Trust, and due to its unspoilt appearance, it's clear to see why the village attracts so many visitors each year. With a population now of around 1,000 people, a settlement in LACOCK is mentioned as far back as 1086 in the Domesday Book, with a population then of less than 200 people. It was Ella, Countess of Salisbury, who founded the abbey in 1232, and the village, along with the manor, formed its endowment. During the dissolution of the monasteries in the reign of King Henry VIII, the abbey and the village were sold, eventually passing to the Talbot family. It was in 1944 when Matilda Talbot gave both the abbey and village to the National Trust. Not far from the entrance of the abbey stands Tithe Barn. A tithe barn was a type of barn used often in the Middle Ages for storing rents and tithes, 1/10 of a farm's produce given to the church. The barn dates to around the mid-14th century and was used by local nuns to store grain. And although the barn has been fully restored in recent years, its appearance is not too dissimilar to how it would have looked in the medieval period. The barn, along with St. Cyriac's Church, are Grade 1 listed buildings. The church has undergone various modifications over the centuries. The 11th century Norman-style architecture of the lower sections of the church may well have been built upon a former existing Saxon church. The village really prospered during the 15th century, being well positioned along trade routes through London and Bath, and as the village prospered, so did the church. The 15th century saw further renovations, and the main structure the church created then can still be seen today. Now this is an 18th century lockup, and if you were awaiting trial or found yourself drunk or disorderly, you may well end up in here. Certainly a sobering thought for any person. The 4 main streets that make up LACOCK Village offer a good range of gifts and souvenirs for you to buy, as well as quirky antique shops and its bakery selling freshly made produce, including artisan breads, cakes and pastries. Keep an eye out for several places along your journey that sell locally made products such as jam and chutneys. Honesty boxes are often left outside people's houses for the purchase of products that residents have made themselves. One store on the high street that sadly you won't be able to buy anything from stands next to the Red Lion Inn. It's so very easy to miss this little gem in the village, but it really is a must-see on your trip. A time capsule waiting to be discovered. What once was the old post office, it has unfortunately been closed for many years. But if you look inside, however, you can still see an array of goods that would have been on sale. With the shop windows items sun-bleached by the years marching on, it's lovely to see this one place seemingly frozen in time. It really adds to the curiosity of this shop and the charm of the village. The village offers some beautiful tea rooms, and if you're looking for a meal out during your visit, then the village has a good share of traditional inns and restaurants for you to stop off, relax and spend some time. The George Inn is a traditional pub along West Street, while the Sign of the Angel offers you a place to eat within a quirky 15th century style setting. With its Georgian-style interior, the Red Lion Inn near the Abbey offers a good range of food and accommodation too. Walking through LACOCK Village really feels like you are stepping back in time. Very little seems to have changed over the years, which makes this an ideal filming location for both films and TV series. If you are a fan of period costume dramas, then LACOCK is the perfect place to relive some of your favourite scenes on screen. The Red Lion Inn was used in the BBC's 1995 adaptation of Pride and Prejudice, starring Colin Firth and Jennifer Ahle. Now a most beloved telling of Jane Austen's novel, the village streets were also used as Meryton, the Bennet sisters' local village from the same novel. Many of the streets were used in the BBC series Cranford, featuring an all-star cast including Judi Dench and Imelda Staunton. Even the National Trust store in the main high street doubled up as the local cobblers. TV series such as Wolf Hall, Downton Abbey and The White Princess have all used the village and Abbey as a location. However, probably the most popular of all, and one that attracts fans from across the world, is Harry Potter. Fans of the film franchise will be thrilled to spot several places within the village that are used, including scenes for Horace Slughorn's house in Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. And in the same film, eagle-eyed viewers will spot that as Harry and Dumbledore walk through the streets of Budleigh Babberton, there's a pub called the Babberton Arms, which is actually the Sign of the Angel pub. To go back to the very beginning, you can also spot Harry Potter's parents' house used in 2001's Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Be sure to look out for a future video exploring LACOCK Abbey. There will be many more Harry Potter filming locations to discover. Tours of the village are available and highly recommended. They are always enjoyable and add a new dimension to your visit. LACOCK is always a joy to visit. Even at its busier peak times during the summer months. To me, a visit here always feels like a calming and relaxing experience. Despite the large number of visitors, everyone seems to have a good level of respect and appreciation for their surroundings. LACOCK is, after all, a living village. People still live or own businesses here, and as much as we look at the village as if it's a museum, appreciating a history that spans centuries into the past, it's a comfort to know that the magic of the village will continue to live on for centuries to come. If you have liked this video or would like to keep up to date with any other content that I post, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. Or please feel free to leave me a comment if you have any suggestions where I should visit in the future. Thank you for watching, and here's to our next trip.